As promised, I want to put together a little video showing you how to generate the residual analysis printouts. And the first step is to build your best model. So I have some data that's working with some automobiles where the best model has just a quantitative variable X1 and the qualitative variable X2, mileage and model in it. And this is the model that I want to do my residual analysis on. So I'm going to go first to the shovel at the top, dig a little deeper, and go down. I need to save some residuals. So what you see in the printout is the regression model that's been fitted. Now what I want statistics to do is to go in and give me predicted values. I'll call them y hat, that's fitted value. And then it's going to look to see how much I missed by, and I'm going to call that the residual in the residual menu. Then I'm going to come down two more to the standardized residual, and I'm going to call this z residual. And when I hit OK, it tells me the residuals have been saved, although it doesn't look like much has been done. However, if I go to the data, you can see that I have created this new three new variables: y hat, residual, and z residual. So if I come down here, look at the 10th observation, for instance, when I plug in a value of 33,132 miles and model 0, my predicted value is 18,061. That's y hat. That's what the model says it should be. The real value was only 15,977, so I missed by $2,084.41. That falls 1.12 standard deviations below the mean. So once I take a standardized residual, it's got a z-score of negative 1.12. That's what those columns represent. Now what we're going to do is create some plots. And I'll start with a scatter plot. That's not right. I'm going to start with a stem and leaf plot of the standardized residuals. So I'm going to choose a standardized residual, throw it in here as a plot variable, and I'm going to get a plot that looks like this. We've talked about in our residual analysis conversation, we use this thing for a couple of different items, and you can refer to that. The next plots, actually the rest of the plots, are going to be scatter plots. I'm going to go to scatter plot menu, and there's two residual plots where I put residual on the y-axis. One of them I put the x, quantitative x, which in my case is mileage, might be size for you, in the x-axis, and I'm going to get a plot that looks like the following. There we go. And if I want, and it's not a bad idea to do this, I'm going to come back and I'm going to put the linear regression option here, and it's going to give me a straight line across the plot. There you go. And so that helps you see patterns. So the residual versus mileage, the next plot I want to do, so I'm going to go back to that same menu. Scatter plot is here. And I'm going to do the residual, but this time I'm going to change out the mileage and put in my predicted value, what we call y hat. I'll leave that line going across. And this is the one we use to check for the variance assumption. And then I have one more that I want to do. And this last plot is going to give me an idea of what my model looks like. So I'm going to mix some stuff around. I'm going to put y hat as a y-axis. Now, depending what model you end up with, if you end up with model 1 through 6, like I have here, you're going to put your quantitative x here. Because the qualitative variable is still in my regression model, I'm going to put the model variable, or the location if you're working with the other types of data, in as a grouping variable. And I'm going to take this linear regression thing out. What this is going to do is show me the equation of my best model. I have two parallel lines. Got rid of the quadratics, got rid of the interaction. So I have two parallel lines in there, you can see them. If I left that linear regression option in there, I just draw a line through the middle of them, I believe. Let's see if that's true. Yeah, there you go. So that's what my best model looks like. Now, if you work with model 7, which just has a qualitative variable, you'll use y hat on the y-axis, but you'll use the model or the location on the x-axis. Yeah, so there are your residual plots. Those are the things you need to conduct your residual analysis. Now, what I want you to do is generate those plots and answer questions that I ask you guys throughout the class. If you have any questions, you guys know how to get hold of me. So long.